Here are the most important changes in the mid-season patch of the final Season 1. Developers cooked the solo banquet mode, where 11 invisible lights are running away from you, trying to poke you with the new baseball bats and making your life miserable. 3 out of 10, would not recommend. Locking device increased activation cost from 1 second to 2 seconds, increased minimum required charge time to activate from 1.5 seconds to 2.5 seconds. Now you have to be a lot smarter with your invisibility usage, and people will have more chances of catching you off guard in the middle of nowhere because it's a lot more expensive to press and use this ability. Mesh Shield decreased health from 1100 to 1000. It was already a pretty overtuned ability for heavy, and developers are cooking the health down each and every patch note. I feel like the nice number would be about 700 for the Mesh Shield, about 2 AK mags, because sometimes even if a person makes a positional mistake, he's just holding the Mesh Shield and escaping it without any consequences. Recon Senses increased activation cost from 1 second to 1.5 seconds, decreased minimum charge time to activate from 2.5 seconds to 2 seconds. It is a lot more expensive to spam your Recon Senses, and it's amazing for the game. Legal wallhack is being weaker and weaker every single patch. I would love to see the rework in the future, but for now, this is a great option. It feels like your Recon Senses went from 9 seconds of uptime to about 6.5, 7. Great nerf. C4 player damage decreased from 210 to 155. Player minimum damage decreased from 120 to 100. It is a massive C4 nerf, and you will less likely to kill players that are stealing the cash out with C4s on it, and it's most definitely a step in the right direction. Flashbang cooldown decreased from 20 seconds to 18 seconds. I cannot wait to get flashbanged 3 or 4 times a fight while sitting at my house playing the finals at 3 AM in the morning. My eyes are gonna love me for it. Gas mine cooldown increased from 25 seconds to 27 seconds. This is a minor change that will never affect anything. You will still be able to properly set up and spam your gas mines with little to no downtime. Explosive mines will have cooldown decreased from 30 seconds to 27 seconds. That's gonna be another update that wouldn't change anything. I would not advise you to play explosive mines before the patch. I would not advise you to play explosive mines after the patch. RPG player damage decreased from 150 to 140. While on paper this might seem like a very minor nerf, in reality you are not meeting up to the damage threshold, which is 150 HP on a light player, meaning that they will have some counterplay around you. You will not be able to finish lights off effectively, and they either will fight back or just waste a lot of time so their teammates would coin, and it's gonna be a complete mess. Stun gun decreased duration of stun effect from 5 seconds to 3.75 seconds. It's interesting how stun gun went from being completely overpowered and oppressive in open beta to pretty balanced on release, and now for some reason developers are nerfing a perfectly fine gadget that still leave you with an opportunity to kill a person that's stunning you. Tracking dart cooldown decreased from 15 seconds to 13 seconds. If you're a casual player, tracking dart is a great alternative that will allow you to keep the distance between you and enemies while still being effective and useful. So that is a W change. Moving on to my favorite weapon category, and we have Throwables. Deployable explosives such as C4, breach charges and explosive mines will now add mass to throwable objects, causing them to travel less far when thrown. It is a massive W quality of life update, and if you pair it up with C4 nerf, you will quickly realize that nuking as a concept is almost completely dead. You won't be able to solo kill, double kill or triple kill enemies without trying, and they won't do the same to you. Flamethrower damage increased from 28 to 30. I feel like they would have to drastically increase the fire rate or the damage itself on a flamethrower for this weapon to compete with the heavy shotgun. Why would I spend 3 seconds burning the heavy player when I can 4-tap him with boom 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 boom? LH1 damage increased from 47 to 49. Fundamentally speaking, this is still a terrible weapon due to visual recoil and inconsistency, but also they have added weapon bloom. It means that where you aim is not where the bullets will land, and this is just terrible. Your recoil is random right now and it makes it so much worse to control it, but it's only for heavies and lights. Medium weapons stayed the same. M11 recoil pattern updated to make the weapon easier to control. M11 feels incredibly nice to play. Unfortunately, it forces you to play really close because of very terrible damage drop-off, and you add the visual recoil into consideration as well as the weapon bloom that I have spoken previously, and you realize that there is not a single good light weapon that you can actually use and enjoy right now. Double barrel shotgun damage decreased from 12 to 10 damage per pellet. It essentially means that you won't be able to double tap heavies, and it will take you double melee in order to finish them off after you don't have any bullets in your chamber, which makes this weapon completely useless right now, because heavy would have all the time in the world to go for a counterplay. M60 damage increased from 21 to 22. Unfortunately, no matter how much damage you add to a weapon, if you don't resolve fundamental issues, the weapon will still stay terrible, no matter what you do. This weapon has the worst random recoil you have in the game. Pair it up with terrible visual recoil, as well as absolutely horrible iron sight, and I absolutely hate this weapon. I wish I would never tried it. That's how bad it was when I tried it. Terrible. 0 out of 10, would definitely not recommend. Riot Shield updated attack animations and heat sweeps to make the weapon feel more responsive. I personally haven't felt anything. I've played Riot Shield for fun recently, and it was a terrible weapon of choice before, and it still remains the terrible weapon of choice after, simply because you cannot apply any pressure to your opponents. You cannot fight for high ground, you cannot fight for positions of power, and you are forcing yourself to get close to enemies, and when you get close, you get RPG'd, nuked, gas mined, blah blah blah. Terrible weapon. Please don't. Heavy shotgun fixed an issue that allowed the weapon to be fired faster than intended. Not only developers did not nerf heavy shotgun, it feels like they made it better directly and indirectly. Directly because it feels like it shoots faster when you click it instead of holding it, and indirectly because every other weapon has such a crazy random recoil that it's gonna be super duper easy to use the heavy shotgun in comparison. Light pistol damage increased from 35 to 36. Now this is a nice change that makes the gun feels a little bit more balanced, but again, light class is just so terrible. You kinda don't care for any weapons, you just want it to be good again.